Hello and welcome to Back to 8-Bit. Today I'm going to have a look at the subscription magazine from the Home Computer Club. Does anybody remember the Home Computer Club? You used to get magazines every 8 weeks like this one or this one here. And these are all part of my original collection, which I do have quite a few other magazines as well, which I collected. What you probably would remember is this original leaflet here that you would find inside a magazine or a newspaper. And this was the hook to get you into the subscription. You would pop this magazine, this leaflet out, and you'll see the offer, the introductory offer there saying, choose 3 games from only 75p each, plus postage and packaging. And if you look in the leaflet, you'll see a selection of titles. There's a book there as well. That's actually a book. So you could choose books as well if you wanted to, which was all related around the ZX Spectrum. But you can see Attic Attack here, Alien 8. Both retailed back in the 80s for £9 or £10, and they're selling these for £1 or 75p as an introductory offer. Chucky Egg, 75p. The Hobbit, £2.50, and you pay £15 for that in the retail stores. They sold 1 million, £1, and again that incorporated 4 games. It's terrific value. And these aren't old games; these are quite up-to-date, recent releases of the time. And also, to get you hooked even more, they would also throw in a free mystery game. Okay, so you'd fill in this form, fill out 3 boxes replicating the order number, the item number for the 3 selection games you wanted. The free game was automatically populated. You would fill in your name and address. You would add up your own calculations of what your bill came to. You'd add the postage and packaging on as well, and you would post it off to the Home Computer Club based in Swindon. Now, this company, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the same company because I recognise the address was always Swindon. You could do. They also did offers for music CDs or books as well, with the same hook to get you into the subscription. Now, what you were committed to was 12-month subscription to the Home Computer Club magazine. Okay, and every 8 weeks you would get a magazine through, and you were committed to purchasing at least 1 game from this magazine. I mean, you can purchase as many as you like, but you were committed to purchasing just 1. If you didn't purchase one, they would just automatically send you the game of the magazine, like the editor's choice. So you wanted to make sure that you completed the coupon in each magazine, sent it off, and ordered your 1 game that you were committed to. Now, unlike the introduction leaflet, you're not going to get games for 75p from this magazine, but the prices in this magazine are pretty much competitive to what you would see in the shops. Now, they do say, and you will see inside the book when I go through a couple of magazines, that they are discounted, and you've got what they call club discounts. So it was probably only 20-25% off the recommended retail price of a game. So you're still not paying full price, but I suppose back then competition was rife back in the 80s, where a lot of retailers were fighting for the same business. So you'd always see discounts on the high street anyway. You had all the newsagents selling computer games, not just the electrical stores or the computer shops, but Boots a chemist as well. They're a chemist, and they were selling computer games. So a lot of retailers sold computer games. So we're all fighting for that same business. So the Home Computer Club was very clever because it made sure it retained its customer, and you went back there every time to select your game. Now, inside each magazine, and we'll go through a couple of these for you. As you can see, a couple of games here. you've got like the recommended retail price $16.95 and the club price $11.95. So you can see they are discounted. But the problem is, this magazine is quite thin. There is not a lot of game selection in this book or any of their catalogues. So unlike going to your local computer store where you had a wide range of selection of games to choose from, you were very much only limited to a certain range with this magazine. But it did offer good value, especially with this introductory offer where you can buy 3 games for 75p. You know, it's really good offer. And I did subscribe to this a couple of times. Once the membership ran out, I would go back and take another contract out. And you know, looking back at it now, and I do hear people say that the prices was quite high in this magazine, but looking at it now, I don't think it was. I think they were just competitive with the other retailers. It was just limited on the amount of games you could choose from. But also, money was really tight for people back in the 80s. So sometimes, you know, you couldn't, one month you might not be able to afford to buy a new game, but you were forced to do that with this contract that you were in with this subscription to buy at least one game. So let's have a quick look at a couple of these magazines. Let's pick one out at random. Let's have a look at this one. Max Headroom, again $9.95, club price $6.95 as an example. And the games in these books, yeah, they were relatively up to date, but there were some games that weren't all that popular. But there were also some great titles that you would easily recognise. You know, Lord of the Rings, Biggles, Spitfire 40. The editor's choice, which I believe is this one here, which is the Gold Collection, and that was retailed at $16.95 and the club price was $11.95. Lord of the Rings, $15.95, club price was $11.95. And then the artist as well, so they did do a few utilities in the collection. Okay, let's have a look at another one. You see some of the prices there as well. A book as well. As I said before, they're quite thin magazines. There really isn't a wide selection of these games. Valhalla, again, $14.95, and I do remember Valhalla being priced in magazines and mail order for $14.95, and the club price there $10.95. Eric the Viking as well, $9.95 title, and that was the club price there was $7.45. And obviously you do have to add postage and packaging onto these as well. I do have, if I can try and find it, here we go here, the order form that you used to send off. And you used to get like a little statement as well with the magazine when you placed your order. So it just showed, you know, your balance of your last statement, the fact that you've sent your post order check off, and then explaining what game you had bought. So it was a Bulge that I purchased back for the last edition, and that was £8.35, including your postage and packaging. And on the back, you would write down the next game. There you are, item 4517, Icon Graphics, which is that one there. And the item code 4517, $9.95, club price $6.95. So purchase that for $6.95. Trivial Pursuit. Price of Magic, level 9 computing, $9.95, club price $7.45, and now these days these are really collectible as well. They go for a bomb, these do. Movie, and that was $5.95 for a club price. Arcade Creator as well, that was a massive box, that was, and allowed you to use the software to produce your own arcade games. I'm pretty sure that is in my collection as well. I think I bought that from here. This one had an offer where if you bought 2 games from this magazine, because you were committed to buying at least one, but it was an extra incentive for if you buy a second game, you would get a free mystery game. It's probably something like Make a Chip or something like that. I think it was going to be anything special. They would tell you what it was. And there's the order form that we had completed. Arcade Creator. Yep, that's the one. That's the Arcade Creator. I said I think I bought it from here, and that confirms that I did. Yeah, I'm right. Hang on, it says temporarily out of stock. Wonder what that meant. Because I have got the game here. So unless I try to order it again at a later date. But wonder what if they send you anything else instead. I don't know. Maybe anybody else can leave a note or comment on the on this video, and if you can remember what happened when a particular game was out of stock. It just reminds me of the alternative items you get when you do your Sainsbury's or Asda shop, where they put substitutes on. So I wonder if they sent a substitute out with this, or whether or not they just held it and then sent the game maybe for the next magazine a post send out, because I have got that game. I have got it. So imagine that month I didn't have a single game, and then the following month or 2 months I received the 2 games. PCW Games Collection. That was that included a book of typing programs, and you also had the cassette as well, so you can play the games without having to type them in. Yeah, you could spend hours not typing them in, but it's quite interesting to be able to use that to teach yourself how to program, so you can see how things were written. Again, Valhalla. A lot of the games got repeated as well, so you can see each magazine did have more games. I say it was limited availability, but if they're putting the same game in 2 or 3 magazines, that really does limit the titles that you could want. And a lot of people could only afford maybe to buy one game once every month or every 2 months, and they'd use, like, I think a lot of my friends tend to have the Crash magazine or the Sinclair User, and used to look at the game reviews and used to use that to work out what game you wanted to buy. But you were limited, as I said before, you are limited to the sort of games that you've got here. Again, the order form there. The Saga of Eric the Viking, £8.35. That's the one I bought, and I've still got that in my collection now. And then the order for the Bulge. Yeah, Cluedo as well. I remember buying that one as well. And again, the Bulge. That was in the previous magazine, and they've included it again in the next magazine. The Graphic Adventure Creator. That was quite popular with people. I reckon that was quite expensive. Yep, $22.95 the retail price for that. And the club price was $12.95. That's really good. So I know people say that these magazines were quite expensive, but I don't think they were. They were quite reasonable. It was all about the limits of the availability of certain titles, and there wasn't much of a selection. some half price deals there. There you go. And just to show you some of the games from my original collection, which I bought from this company, they are the arcade creator. I'm just going into that as well. You've got the manual, the tapes. I think you can load the games up and then edit the games to make your own games up. Put that out the way. And there's a PCW games collection that we spoke about. And as I said before, you've got the book that comes with it, which is the typing program book. So you can sit for hours on end typing these programs out if you wanted to. Or you can load them up from the cassette. They're quite big cases as well. Battle of the Bulge. Again. There's so much packaging on these games. And there's the Eric the Viking game that I purchased from this home computer club. And these are, what, 40 years old. Now, another little surprise for you. If you remember that free mystery gift you got, I do remember the game I got. I'm pretty sure it was this. That came with it. It's gone a bit wonky, but that's just through the age of it. An O-level and CSE revision of computer studies for the ZX Spectrum, and that was the free game that I got as part of my introductory deal. Anyway, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed that. A bit of a memory lane trip for the Home Computer Club, and I'll be back very soon.